Take one. Hi, I recorded and released 52 songs in a year, and now I want to talk about it for a bit. I started making music about 2.5 years ago. I taught myself to play guitar before that, but I didn't ever consider myself a good player. However, I was intrigued by songwriting and lyricism, so I simply went at it, bought a bass and a guitar, and tried to get something down. I wrote and recorded my first EP, which, looking back at it now, it's okay, but back then I hated it, had a blast making it though. It sparked even more interest in songwriting and music production, but I lacked the skills to get the ideas I had in my head onto my recordings. I knew I needed to improve, get better on my instruments, become a better singer, become a better producer. After releasing some more songs in 2018, I still wasn't happy with my work. Every time someone told me my music is okay, I cringed and wholeheartedly disagreed. And I didn't do that to be cute or fish for compliments, I really believed it. Still do as a matter of fact, but that's what's really motivating me. You may have heard those stupid motivational sentiments people make before. Practice makes perfect, the 10,000 hour rule. But there's something to it, I believe. As stupid as it sounds, if you do something a lot, you will get better at it. So that's why I decided to record 52 songs in 2019, to practice. I wanted to push myself further into songwriting and producing. And while I knew most of the songs would suffer from the same problem as all my previous work, meaning I would think it would be bad, I didn't care this time, because I had an excuse. I had an excuse of having a lack of time, and I just wanted to practice, not really make music. I was okay with compromises right from the start. And if a few things will turn out to be good, that's great, but not my goal. Okay, sounds simple. 52 songs in 52 weeks, 1 song per week. Easy. But if you're anything like me, you know life doesn't work like that. Even besides making music, I had quite a busy year. I quit university, I started a job, quit that job, moved to Vienna and started a new job. Plus, we all know procrastination. I fell behind my own schedule rather quickly. And while I always wanted to catch up, I never managed to. Things got out of hand and by beginning of December I still had 24 songs left to record. Mind you, that's almost half of the songs I wanted to spread over a whole year, all to be done in 31 days. As you might expect, that didn't work out. I couldn't finish 52 songs in 2019, so I extended my deadline a bit, until 6th of January, because this was the date my first track was uploaded. And while I think I've cheated a little bit doing that, I still managed to record 52 songs in the span of a year. I'd like to prelude this next part by saying that I know that what I did wasn't really that important. Nobody would have been upset if I didn't finish those 52 songs. As a matter of fact, I believe most of the few listeners I had on Spotify didn't even know about my mission. So I can't really say why I cared so much about it, but I did and I truly drove myself insane because of it. I was obsessed by it. To put my situation at the end of the year into numbers, 1 week before my new deadline, I still had to finish 19 songs. That averages out to 1 new song every 9 hours. Every second of the day, I obsessed about making those songs. And somehow I did it. It took a few compromises, but I did it. I felt great. There's a few lessons I've learned from this experience. First off, while not perfect by any definition of the word, I think I've become more competent as a musician and producer. I'm excited to see the things I've learned put into practice in future projects, while I will allow myself to take the time that's necessary. I'm also glad that I challenged myself into unknown territory a few times. While it would have been a lot easier to just record 52 acoustic songs, I learned a lot more by trying to diversify my sound. Second, limitation fuels creativity. Setting yourself deadlines or other restrictions is important. Third, while it's good to push yourself, it's also important to not overdo it. I stressed myself out way too much, especially at the end. There was no fun left at all. After I have uploaded the last track, I couldn't even look at an instrument for a while. So time management is important. Everyone has experienced working overnight for a deadline before, because of previous procrastination. And while not smart, it might even work in some cases. But for big projects, it's impossible. It's good to push yourself, but not to sacrifice yourself. Fourth, another thing I've learned, and while not that important to me, I still want to mention it, is that effort doesn't always communicate as well as you might want to. For example, Handstand, my most popular track, took me 1 afternoon to make. Comparing that to other tracks, which took a few weeks or even months of hard work that didn't get any recognition, it hurt. but I've come to learn that at the end of the day, the work you put into something isn't that important to the listener. It's the result. And sometimes both things correlate, but sometimes they don't. Fifth point. If you want to improve the quality of what you're doing, and I believe that goes for any skill or activity, the best thing to focus on is quantity. Practice makes perfect, and that's true. It's also quite liberating. If you distance yourself from a strict quality goal, it's easier to just get things done, spiraling into more content with increasing quality over time. Also, at least to me, it's a numbers game. Even if only 1% of what you do is good, after 100 attempts, there's a good chance you've got something going there. The main thing I want to share is that it's important to allow yourself to be bad at something. Allow yourself to be confronted with problems and challenges. Allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from them. They are necessary and often unavoidable. Focusing on quantity beats focusing on quality. Get to work, don't overthink it.